everyone, it's Jess Larsen here with a video for Simon Says Stamp. Today we're creating this fun holiday shaker card. All of the papers on today's card come from Lawn Fawn's Peace, Joy, Love 6x6 paper pack. To start the shaker card, we need to use this suspension tree die from Simon Says Stamp. We're taking these two nested circles and we're going to go ahead and die cut those 4 times out of chipboard. If you had some thicker craft foam or thicker chipboard, you may be able to get away with just doing it twice. Now we're going to go ahead and separate these 2 circles here and take the smaller of the 2. And I'm going to die cut those twice on this little card front panel I created. And this is going to create our ornaments. And shaker cards are a little intimidating, but they're really not that hard once you kind of get the order of the steps right and get the swing of things. So hopefully after today, you guys can try to make your own shaker cards. So we have both of our ornaments die cut there, and we're going back. These are the rings we created out of that chipboard, and I needed to do it 4 times because my chipboard wasn't very thick. So I just am going to go ahead and glue these 2 pieces together just to create a nice thick ring here. My favorite glue to use as of late is the Glossy Accents. It is really a strong adhesive, and for cards like this where you want everything to hold together well, especially if you're going to send it off in the mail, you definitely want a nice strong adhesive. So I've got those glued together to create a little bit of thickness there. And now we're taking this set by Lawn Fawn. It is called Ornate Ornaments. And we're just using a couple of little pieces from the set. They have like these ornament hooks. And we're going to put that on the top of one of them. And then I'm going to go ahead and take the actual large ornament that comes in the set and just color the topper on there with a Memento black marker. And go ahead and stamp that on the top of the other one. You can just use your ink pad, to selectively ink an area, but for these nice little tiny areas, I like to grab that marker and get in there, and it gives a really nice impression. I'm going to go ahead and stamp that here on the top of my other ornament. And the set also comes with this line or string that your ornaments would be hanging on. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp that on the top of each of my ornaments so they look like they are hanging down from a tree branch. And if you don't have this set, this would definitely be something that you could draw in and create on your own pretty easily as well. So now let's get to assembling the shaker part. We need to glue a couple pieces of acetate behind each one of our ornaments here. And I just use acetate that I have left over from different stamp sets. Occasionally I'll have an extra piece here or there, and I set them aside to use for different projects. So I just put a ring of Glossy Accents around the outside of my first ornament and cut a piece of acetate down to fit behind it. And then I'm going to just repeat the process with the other one. You want to make sure that your rings of Glossy Accents are not too thick or also not too close to the circle, because you don't want any to squish out on your acetate, because it is really hard to get it off of the acetate. Don't ask me how I know that. So I cut mine a little too big here, but that's okay. I can just trim it down. I don't want it showing, through the other ornament. And now we're going to take those chipboard circles that we created earlier, and we're going to glue those onto these little pieces of paper from that Lawn Fawn paper pack. And these are going to be our ornaments. So I picked out a red paper and a light pale blue kind of paper. And again, I'm using that Glossy Accents to glue that down on there. Now I'm going to grab the sequins. These are also from the Peace, Joy, Love collection from Lawn Fawn, and they have these awesome little snowflakes in there, which I think are so cute for the holidays. And quick tip would be to hit these with a powder tool if you have it, or just a dryer sheet to cut down on the static cling. These little sequins wanted to stick to my hands and to the acetate so badly, and it was super annoying. But if you just, put a little powder down on everything or grab a dryer sheet, it'll definitely cut down on that, and it'll help your shaker cards to actually shake instead of just having everything stick to the acetate. So now we're going to put our ornaments behind our card here, and you're going to grab that Glossy Accents one last time, put it around the ring, and then lay your card front over it. And I kind of cut this part out because my big old head got in the way. But make sure you get a nice even seal there. You don't want any of your sequins to escape out of the bottoms or the sides in the mail. And go ahead and push that down and give that a little time to dry. Don't try to shake it up right away. Here's a little bit of a close-up on those ornaments. You can see they are nice and full of glittery goodness. So now this is the set from Hero Arts I've been really loving. It's called Naughty or Nice. It has some great sentiments for Christmas time. And we are taking this sentiment, it's called Oh What Fun It Is. And I'm going to paper piece the F and the U and the N in fun. So I'm grabbing all 3 of the papers that we used other places on our card today, and I'm going to go ahead and stamp those out onto each one of those. So we have all of those letters cut out. I'm just going to add the N on there, and then we're going to put our card front onto the card base. And you need to make sure that you have it at least as high as those chipboard circles we have on the back there. So just grab some foam squares and put those all over the back of your card to make it all nice and even. I grabbed this little bow die from the Layered Tree Dies by Simon Says Stamp to add to the top of my ornaments. I thought it just finished them off a little bit nicely. And I wanted to add some little glitz and sparkle to them, so I grabbed my Picket Fence Distress Stickles. And I think this was Kathy Rakusin who told me and everyone how to do this. And it's just to paint them on there. It gives you really nice control over where they go. You can lay them on really nice and thick and get sort of a sugared, glittery look. Very, very pretty for holiday cards. And that's the card for today, you guys. Thanks so much for watching.